Hey, what's up, Raza? Good morning. It's your big homie Chuku Sam, man. And today I was just gonna, go off on my little rant about SPM. I know I keep talking about that motherfucker, man, and I'm sorry. One day, real soon, I won't even fucking mention his name anymore. But for now, he keeps fucking popping up. And every time he pops up, it pisses me off. Let's just be honest. It's not so much hate. It's just anger. Anger because instead of him being humble, just shutting the fuck up, doing his time and then getting out without making any noise, he makes noise. And when he talks, I already know he's lying. He's a chronic liar, man. He lies about every fucking thing. His whole fucking life is a lie. I mean, he wasn't even from South Park. Okay? He stole that name from South Park. And you already know that story. His whole persona is a lie, man. He ain't no G. He's not a gangster. Gangsters don't catch child molestation charges. Because that's a no-no. You don't do that, man. It's part of the G code. And if you're a real one, you already know what time it is with that, too. This guy, he's a nobody, man. He's just somebody that wanted to be a rapper. And he made it. And he could have made it bigger. But he has his tendencies. He has this sickness. That's why he does what he does. I mean, I don't know what he's got going on in his mind, or what his upbringing was. Maybe he was abused as a child himself. Maybe he was molested as a child himself. I don't know. We don't know. So, you don't have to believe me. I'm not clout chasing. I mean, I'm not hating. Honestly, clout chasing would be me going after somebody that's really famous and really has money. SPM's not that famous, man. He's popular. People are starting to listen to his music again because of TikTok and his strategized marketing. See, him and his family and his people, they're smart. They keep him relevant. They've been keeping him relevant because they don't want the company to die down. They don't want to lose their bread and butter. I understand that too. But SPM did that, man. SPM is a child molester, man. And I know what you're going to say. No, you're just a cloud chaser. You're just hating. There's no proof of him being a child molester. Like for a long time, when all that shit popped off, and I started seeing all these charges on him in the newspaper and in the news back then, I was like most of you guys, I thought he was set up. Because my mindset was like, why would anybody that's famous and has all these women and has all this money do something like that? To me back then, that didn't make sense. So for a whole year, I'll be honest with you guys, I thought he was innocent. Okay? But then here comes another charge. The first one was for the 9-year-old. Which, by the way, there was no evidence for that. So I'm going to come back to that here in a minute. About the no evidence thing. But then he got charged. Well, they tried to charge him with the 13-year-old. With his baby's mama. With Jill. That backfired on him. But, you know, believable story, you know. Baby's mama's trying to get you. You know, girls do lie about their age and shit like that. That's believable. Because I'm from the streets, man. I grew up in the streets. And I've seen shit like that happen before. I've seen people get set up and shit like that, man. Extorted. But then you had, in between those two, there was an article that came out from 1994 where SPM, for some fucking reason, went up to a editor or a publisher, a reporter of some type from the Houston Press, and told him something like he's glad that he dropped out of Milby because another year in that hole he would have went to jail for fucking all the young bitches. Why would he say something like that? Okay. That's when I started thinking, you know what, man, what the fuck, right? Then a third victim came forward. A fourth victim came forward. A fifth. A sixth. A seventh and an eighth victim came up. None of them knew each other. None of them asked for money. But, come on, man. One or two, I might see how, you know, it could have been a setup. But 8 people, 8 little girls coming forward, accusing you of the same thing, that's where I drew the line. I like, oh shit, now there's a pattern. This motherfucker really is a child molester. Fuck him. I don't like child molesters, period. They could all go to hell. But when the case, let's go back to that, the case with the 9-year-old, the little 9-year-old girl was the daughter of SPM's best friend's mom. And they were having an adulterous relationship. In other words, the daddy was in jail, so her and SPM were having a sexual relationship. He was fucking her. What kind of homeboy is that? That's not a homeboy. That's a piece of shit. That shows you his character. Okay? And to this day, he's never apologized for that. He's never shown any remorse for doing that. He don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about you. He gives a fuck about your money because you're over there buying his records and his marriage and going to the day unity and all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck about you, man. He gives a fuck about you spending money on his shit. That's what he cares about. Day of unity, my ass. Woman empowerment, my ass. That is not about women empowerment. How in the hell can you molest underage girls and then say that you're for woman empowerment? Oh. Before I go on about the 9-year-old case, after the 8th victim came out, one more came forward, or 2 more came forward, okay? 2 14-year-olds, and I'm going to tell you how this ties in. So, with the 9-year-old, listen to what I'm going to tell you. SPM could have won that case because there was no evidence. There really was no evidence, no DNA, no. It was just a he said, she said thing. So SPM's lawyer convinced the judge to let SPM out on bond. But SPM could not be around minors. So he couldn't go home because he couldn't be around his kids. They were minors at the time. Okay? So he rented this house with a bunch of his fucking homies from Dope House Records. It was like a flop house. There's an interview that he does with Donnie Houston, I think it is his name, where they used to call it the gonorrhea house. It was like a flop house where they had parties and freak offs and shit like that. Him and his fucking perverted buddies from Dope House, which were more than likely probably Chesters themselves, because they knew what was going on. Everybody knew what was going on. Baby Bash knew. Juan Gotti knew. You know, at the very least, they're guilty by association. So instead of South Park, like, getting out on bond and keeping low key and staying away from motherfuckers, him and his buddies go and pick up two 14-year-olds and take them to a hotel. Why in the fuck would you do that if you're out on bond, man? And you got a case that you could probably beat, too. You just fucked that up. Not only that, you broke your bond, which means now the judge is not going to want to hear your stupid excuses or your sad stories and shit like that, because you're not credible, you're not reliable, because you couldn't, like, stand still or just stay humble and shit while out on parole. Not only that, you're doing the same fucking shit that you were accused of doing before you even went before the judge. So what happened? They give him the maximum. They give him 45 years. Okay? They give him 45 years because he broke that bond. Because one of the 14-year-olds said that she had sex with him at the motel, and then later on his judge got him off of that one because supposedly that girl had some kind of sexually transmitted disease, which SPM didn't. So somehow, some way he got away with that one, but they still got him because he, no matter what, he was with the minor. So he broke his bond. And they gave him the 45 years, which they were actually, in reality, they were trying to give him 99 years. But since he had a good lawyer, they brought it down to 45. Now, SPM will tell you that the reason why he revoked his bond was because he didn't want to take the deal. He keeps saying, "Well, if I was guilty, why would I not take the deal for 5 years and be out in 2 or something like that?" Oh, and that's just one story. That's just one story, homies. He's got another story because he wrote a book, supposedly. I've never seen it. He claims he wrote a book, and in the book it says that, he even says it on the Donnie Houston interview. He says that when he was out on parole, he went to this club and partied and did some coke. That following Monday, they did a drug test on him, and he failed it, and that's why he broke his bond. But neither one of those two stories that he says show up in the court transcripts. What shows up in the court transcripts is him being at a motel with two 14-year-olds. What a fucking narcissist ass fucking piece of shit liar, man. He's got his fans. He's got Raza divided, fighting with each other because we don't all agree, because some people believe him and some don't. That's bullshit. Well, he's still in jail making money, making records. Because every time he puts a statement out, he drops a new song, a new track, a new album. And you, his fans, flocking out to go fucking buy it, download it, but whatever. Buy his merch, support this fool. Go to the Day of Unity and all that fucking gay ass shit that he promotes. That's another thing, man. How are you gonna promote the Day of Unity when you got all your raza and all your homies separated at each other's throats because of something that you did? That's fucked up. That's manipulation. That's narcissism. SPM probably feeds off of that shit. He loves it. It's like an energy vampire, man. Now with the 13-year-old, Jill, we don't know the 9-year-old girl's name because they never released it. She was like super minor, 9 years old. I think they named her Jane Doe. In the court papers it says Jane Doe. If you haven't seen the transcripts of the court papers, the black and whites, if you haven't seen the paperwork, man, go look for it. Okay? Jill, the 13-year-old, the one that everybody claims that she was a stripper with their fake ID, that story was a lie too. And the thing about that story is that SPM himself, not rumors, not speculations, not the newspaper, SPM himself said it. SPM himself said, hey, I don't know where this bullshit story's coming from. I never said she was a stripper. I never met her at no strip club. I met her at my homeboy MC Free's house. So the whole story about her being a stripper is a lie, is a myth. Somebody made that shit up. And more than likely, it was his homies from Dope House. I'm looking at Baby Bash. Because Baby Bash used to push that story. Oh my God, she was a stripper. Whatever he did on that Vlad fucking, on Vlad or Vlad, whatever the fuck that other fucking cocksucker's name is. Baby Bash is a fucking piece of shit, man. Him and Juan Gotti, Low G, Little Flip, anybody that supported this man, Fat Joe, anybody that supported this man and knew the whole time that he was guilty, but were calling us clout chasers and haters and dick suckers and shit like that. Fuck them putos, man. Alright? They knew this whole time. And if they didn't, they fucking... at the very least, they had to have suspected it. You know what I'm saying? You work with these people every day, man. You interact with these fools all day, every day. So, you had to have known something, or at the very least suspected it something, or heard something. You know what I mean? So he lied about the 13-year-old too. So he lied about the 9-year-old. He lied about the 13-year-old. And he lied about the 2 girls at the hotel. He's a fucking chronic liar, a narcissist, piece of shit, a cheater, a fake gangster that's brainwashing people, man. Keeping people divided. How are you going to be for unity when you yourself divide people? With your lies and stuff. With your actions. And then on top of all that, you keep lying to your fans. Oh, I'm coming home soon. Oh, I'm going to be out soon. How many fucking times are you going to come out soon? Since you've been in there, you've done it at least 3 times. Because I've seen videos from 2019, 2020, 2021, 22. Well, SPM's almost getting out. He's going to parole in April 2020. Oh, he's going to parole in May 2022. These videos that his fans put out. Well, now, on Monday, October the 7th, is his real parole hearing. Is he going to get out? I don't think so. Because he's too cocky. He's not going to admit responsibility. He's not going to like be accountable. And he's not going to show any remorse for what happened. He's not going to be able to prove that he's a changed man and that he's sorry for what happened. He's not going to be able to convince the parole board that it won't happen again. What the parole board's going to see is like, this guy hasn't apologized. He's been making records while in jail the whole time and selling them, which is probably illegal. I don't know. And then he married his young daughter's best friend. Red flags. That's how the parole board is going to see red flags. Red flags. They're going to see that he didn't take anger management classes or any kind of classes to prove that he was working on himself. And SPM knows this shit. He knows that there's a big fucking chance that he's not getting out. But he's hyping up his fans, saying that he's coming home already. He's saying 2024 is the year of the wet bag. Motherfucker, you're not a wetbag, fool. You were born here in Texas. Why are you calling yourself a wetbag? And how the fuck is this going to be your year, man? And how in the hell are you going to come out and conquer the world and take over the world and shit? What are you, like Hitler or some shit? Man, get the fuck out of here with your fake ass G shit, man. You got all your fans worked up, telling them that you're gonna come home for sure, and then when you get out, you're gonna have this big concert, and you're gonna take over the rap scene. Man, please, if you believe that shit, something's wrong with you too. Listen to the way he talks. Homeboy's full of shit. He knows he's not gonna get out, but he keeps hyping up his fans so they can keep buying his shit, so he can stay relevant, so we can all argue with each other. Because he's a fucking narcissist. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Just like I said in my previous video, maybe he will get out. Maybe he has a good lawyer this time. I don't know. And if he gets out, oh well, good for him. But I personally don't see him taking over shit. I really don't, man. Him with his fairy tales. He's always told lies. He's always told fairy tales. He's always Said that the FBI's chasing them. They're after him. They were on his rooftop at Dope House Records with machine guns pointing at him. Bullshit. I already looked and there's no fucking newspaper clippings or articles about that shit. That shit never happened, man. It might have happened in his mind. I don't know what's going up there in his mind. But he's a fucking liar. He's a manipulator that's got all of us convinced that he's for unity, he's for women empowerment. You know, he puts out these videos making you feel sorry for him. At the end of the day, we're the ones that look stupid. If that's not a narcissist, I don't know what is. But anyways, fuck him. I gotta go to work. Talk to you guys later. Hopefully, I won't make no more videos about him until Monday. Or if I hear anything else. Because supposedly, Mo Hustle. Supposedly, I almost forgot to tell you that. Did an interview with Cam Capone News. And supposedly there's new charges or new evidence against SPM from one of his family members. But I haven't seen the video. I don't know when it's going to be released or if it even exists. Because that's another fool I don't trust is Mo Hustle. Mo Hustle's a liar too. Mo Hustle's one of those that knew the truth the whole time. Just never said nothing about it. Used to call all of us haters and clout chasers and dick suckers. Think about that for a minute. I don't trust Alvato 100%. No way. We're going to have to wait and see. Anyways, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later, man.